Good evening, and welcome to this evening's edition of the Vision Root video blog. I am your host, Richard Urban. I'm coming to you from historic Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Tonight's installment is the war on President Trump. I'd like to start with the reading from Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 21. Then the Lord said, Jeremiah, some men from Anatoth say they will kill you if you keep on speaking for me. But I will punish them. Their young men will die in battle, and their children will starve to death. And when I'm finished, no one from their families will be left alive. That's our reading for today. Well, recently in the last couple of weeks, we've seen an outrageous attack on President Trump. So, very likely you've seen this gory image, warning this is rather graphic image of Kathy Griffin holding a decapitated head of President Trump. And then also a couple weeks ago, the production of Julius Caesar by Shakespeare in the Park in New York City Central Park was launched, and it has a person who's very clearly President Trump being stabbed to death by some black guys and some women on stage. Let's look at a clip of that.
It's an actor dressed to look just like President Donald Trump as he's assassinated on stage. Look as his character is stabbed to death. And there's no mistaking the Trump connection. Check out the unbuttoned overcoat and red tie that hangs over his waist. It's a staging of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar that is outraging many. The controversial production is taking place here in New York City's Central Park. The staging is being seen as a direct jab at Trump and the controversial political climate in this country. There are other similarities to Trump. Caesar's wife, Calpurnia, bears a resemblance to First Lady Melania.
Make hands for me!
This is how the assassination scene has usually been done. Julius Caesar repeatedly stabbed by the members of the Roman Senate. In the new version, you see a bloodied Caesar, his white dress shirt soaked in blood.
So clearly you can see here, this is really completely outrageous. Can you imagine if someone had produced a picture of President Obama's head decapitated like that? Hello, would anybody say, oh yeah, that's just freedom of speech, no problem? I don't think so. And how about if they produced a play where a bunch of white guys, murdered President Obama? Do you think that would be okay? I don't think so. So if you're not outraged by this, I think something's wrong with your viewpoint. This is crazy. So this is kind of just part and parcel of the attack on President Trump. And how could this be okay? How could this be even, thought to be okay in the current environment? This is outrageous. How can people even justify this stuff? Now, a lot of people are upset about it. Some sponsors have pulled their sponsorship, well, partially, at least, like Delta Airlines and Bank of America for this one play, But this is crazy. How can you think this is acceptable? And then American Express claims that, they're don't sponsor this particular production. Well, yeah, right. So maybe it's time, like some of the customers to do, to cut up your Bank of America and American Express cards there. Yeah, wow. Well, it's just completely outrageous, and it's so biased against President Trump. So if you don't think media is biased, how come you're not hearing a lot about this on, say, NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, all of these kind of places, New York Times, the Washington Post, Compost, as I say? Because they don't care, because they think it's okay. Actually, it's a crime to even talk about harming or killing the President of the United States. So people who promote this stuff, they should actually be prosecuted, whether it be Kathy Griffin or the people at the Shakespeare Theater. And people who think this is okay, they're sick. It's sick. It's totally unacceptable. So this is a kind of atmosphere that, we've been degraded into. It's not even about any rational debate. It's like people who are lunatic crazy saying that basically anything they think or do is okay. If they want to produce a play or show up a picture of president's head decapitated, which would be like more or less ISIS, or if they want to produce some play where the president assassinated. This is trying to set up an atmosphere where they're trying to make it seem okay that these things are actually would literally happen. Well, it's not okay. It's wrong, and the people who promote this stuff need to be prosecuted. It's absolutely outrageous. It's totally, absolutely unacceptable in any way. And and then we see the atmosphere that these things even taking shape in reality. Then some crazed fringe people, like the person who attempted to assassinate the Republican congressman, actually does the very thing that these people are talking about. Hello? These kind of things are not acceptable. These kind of plays, these kind of so-called art, this is not art. That's actually a punishable crime. That tells you something about that person, Kathy Griffin, that she would even think about doing something like that. That's crazy. So this kind of atmosphere, has to stop. It's completely wrong. And I'd venture if you can't see something wrong with that, then you need to re-examine, what you're believing and thinking about. This is completely unacceptable. We should, pray for our president. We should, you know, make sure he's protected, and he's doing a very good job. Helping people, helping fight against evil, helping, helping people. And so people are setting up these completely false stories. Did you know that President Trump funded like black college and universities more than any other president, even Obama? Oh, well, you didn't know that? Well, that's true. You wouldn't know it from the crazy rhetoric of people like this Shakespeare in the Park, play, and people like Kathy Griffin and all these kind of people. So, I mean, President Trump has been doing many, many, good things to help people, have less government interference, reduce regulations, and promote good policies. Did you know that 10,000 people who are child abusers have been arrested, who are like sexual abusers? Wow, that's an amazing thing. So these people are scared and they're trying to do anything and everything to undermine President Trump. So I urge you to actually look into what's going on. Don't rely on rhetoric. Turn off CNN, turn off NBC, do your own, research onto what's going on. And, speak up and support the president, support, goodness and righteousness. These brain dead things like this diatribes on President Trump and this constant, how do you say, diatribe about Russia and all this stuff is completely brain dead. I've already blogged on that, several times after whatever 6 months now. Absolutely zero evidence. And, brain dead people like Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters keep talking about, oh yeah, the Russian collusion and all this stuff. What Russian collusion? If anybody colluded Russia, it's Hillary Clinton, who gave away like 25% or 50% interest of the uranium, to Russian interests. Of course, nobody seems to be reporting on that. Okay, so support our president. Arrest the people like Kathy Griffin who threaten the president. Literally, that's actually a crime to threaten to kill the president of the United States of America. That's not art. It's completely wrong. And that whole production should be shut down. And anybody who sponsors it shouldn't be, you shouldn't do business there at all. Period. Okay, well, I'm Richard Urban. I'm coming from historic Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Do stay alert and awake in these perilous times, and be well until next time. Have a good night.